Okay, y'all, pull up, man. What's good, future millionaires? We back with another banger. I'm DecemberDeMarco, Fortune 500 marketer, here to share my insights to the market with y'all to hopefully help y'all become better informed investors. Salute to y'all for pulling up on the channel. Make sure you hit that thumbs up like button for the YouTube algorithm, and do not forget to subscribe. So here we go. We are about to, just chop up some crypto, check out the market, see how everything is going today. Also, if it's something y'all want to check out, just let me know. So let's see. Right now, I'm just taking a look at Shiba Inu, but deciding which location I want to pull it up from. Okay, let me just make sure everything correlates. How y'all feeling though, man? Happy holidays to everybody, man. Appreciate y'all definitely for pulling up on me. What y'all got planned for the holidays? Okay, 0.055. Pull up, make sure y'all hit that thumbs up, like button, salute. Shout out to Rock in the building. He said, someone hacked my MetaMask. See, that's why y'all have to be, careful with, using these hot wallets. You got to make sure you always log out. Also, you got to make sure that you're not logging in from, public access, so public computers, public Wi-Fi's, any of that. You cannot be getting into your hot wallet, or else, you run the risk of somebody trying to hack you. So let's throw this shib on the screen real quick. Okay, so we got the 1 minute chart up right now on Shiba Inu. Wanted to see how accurate Gecko terminal is on the 1 minute. So let's see. Last Shiba Inu buy came in for $756. Right before that, somebody sold for 1.2K. Let's see, what was the last major buy or major sale? So we could see someone did a 9.7K, almost $10,000 sale. Someone else did an 8K sale, 6,000 sale. Looking for those big buys. Pull up, man. Share the stream. Matter of fact, let me get it out there. Let me let everybody know that we actually live. Okay, I got to get this shared out there. Give everybody a minute to be able to join the stream. Make sure though, y'all hit that like button. Let YouTube know y'all rocking with the stream. So, okay, we got it up in the private Facebook community. We got over 6,300 active investors over there. They got to get the word out. Y'all know we'll be taking a look at Vechain Inu as well as Shiba Inu. Okay, one more spot. We got to get it on Instagram, and then we ready to go. Okay, we set up, man. Salute. Shout out to Philip in the building. Said only success for the upcoming new year. Let's see what other buys do we got coming in. It doesn't look like on a 1 minute chart is too active. Okay, let's check out some crypto news. These crypto founders and Bitcoin moguls lost 116 billion in 2022. Let's take a quick look at this article. This just goes hand in hand with what I was talking about earlier in my video. You know, a lot of people are, disappointed with how, the markets are looking. Y'all got to understand, it's not just us that are feeling it. Billionaires are also feeling it as well. Most of the top blue chip companies are all down right now. It's not just crypto. It's not just stocks. It's the housing market as well. Used car market as well is down. All the markets basically are being hit right now. We are technically inside of a recession. So let's take a look at this article. The embattled cryptocurrency industry and its wealthy pioneers face a moment of reckoning after the collapse of the crypto exchange FTX and hedge fund Alameda Research. In January 2022, Sam Bankman was riding high. His Bahamas-based FTX had just raised $400 million from prominent venture capitalists at a $32 billion valuation. A few weeks later, when Forbes published its annual World's Billionaires list, SBF, and he's known, was the crypto's second wealthiest person, worth $24 billion. Now Bankman is likely broke and awaiting trial. Before he was arrested in the Bahamas, SBF told several media outlets his bank account was down to $100,000 and that he was not sure how he'll pay his lawyers. Gary Wang, FTX other co-founder and the company's former chief technology officer, who entered a plea deal with the Securities and Exchange Commission, has also seen his fortune, once estimated at 5.9 billion, wiped. So we got to remember, when these people touch billions of dollars, you'll never officially be broke again. You don't go from billions of dollars to $100,000. Maybe all that money isn't on the table, or just technically accounted for. But a billionaire to $100,000, like, come on now, get out of here. You see, he just posted a $250 million bail. This was the largest bail in U.S. history. So obviously, he did it through real estate his parents owned, but he was buying some of that real estate, I believe, personally, allegedly, with some of the funds that he was getting from customers' accounts. So, who's to say how many different pots of money that he has, or assets, investments in different areas that he can tap into and liquidate whenever he wants. So I'm not trying to hear that down to 100,000 thing, and he don't know how he'll pay his lawyers. Like, that's cap. But it appears so far the co-founder and his girlfriend have both agreed to testify against him. or cooperate with officials, telling them everything that they know. His girlfriend has already admitted that they knew what they were doing. So some people are speculating at first, was this all a mistake, or was this basically running a business, poor management, basically? Because technically, poor management of a business is not illegal, but if you're technically scamming people, that is illegal. So a big thing to figure out was, did he intentionally know what was happening? Because some people tried to speculate and say, he's not a coder. He wouldn't be able to create the code that is necessary to be able to create these backdoors to have access to customer funds. And his girlfriend just basically took that argument off the table. So she says, yes, we knew what we were doing. And she also stated, she knew, things were basically getting, coming to an end. So let's see where we are from here. Now, SBF is likely broke, awaiting trial. Billions wiped. FTX's demise was a fitting end to a year of wealth destruction in the cryptocurrency and blockchain sector. The post-pandemic economic shock, which triggered inflation and rising interest rates, sucked capital out of the speculative crypto ecosystem. So remember, whenever there's a negative catalyst like this, the markets are doing bad, more riskier assets are going to be hit hard. So meme coins, altcoins, crypto in general will be hit harder than we see traditional investment vehicles be hit. Why? Because they're more speculative, meaning people are more gambling or kind of guessing on, the nature of those investments, and the crypto space is technically brand new. It still hasn't even been around for, 20 years yet. So, it's within the, the first, we're beyond that first decade point, but think about it, for something this big, it's still essentially brand new. So a lot of things to unfold and still, let play out. Now, seeing how this FTX situation unfolded, to be honest, it shook the space unlike anything that I could have imagined taking place. We don't have a crystal ball here. We can't say, hey, on the next few months, SBF, the CEO that we see with politicians, we see him buying sports arenas. We see him partnering with Tom Brady, Steph Curry. We can't say, we don't have enough information to be able to call this guy out and say, okay, we could see the financials of this company and determine that this is one big scam to know how hard it'll hit the entire space. So this was one of those negative catalysts that I tell y'all, if we get something negative that pops up, you have to basically reanalyze the markets. All the technical analysis that we did prior, all those things are now invalid. Why? Because we just received an extremely negative catalyst that basically has a domino effect throughout a lot of the other large players in the space as well. So we really need to see how this all unfolds, how it all plays out before, we really get, before we're just, heavily investing in a traditional bear market. So with that being said, I believe prices can pull back a little lower than what we're seeing, especially with some of these assets like Bitcoin, ETH, possibly even SHIB. I think SHIB will hold a little stronger than, some of these other assets because of, just the community's sake. And we can see Shiba Inu has the longest hold time out of any of the other meme coins. So that just shows that the community is, confident in Shiba Inu. But for the most part, we really need to let the dust settle. Am I saying don't buy? Not at all. You definitely want to take advantage of your favorite assets at this price because, when things flip, it's going to flip fast. One of the key things that we were waiting for is for the Federal Reserve to basically pivot or to start injecting money back into, the economy. Now, we've seen the House just approved a $1.7 trillion bill. We got to talk about that bill as well, a little bit of what's inside of the bill and how it can affect the markets that we're seeing. But normally that's when we see that we're at the bottom or close to the bottom once the Federal Reserve starts basically pumping money again. So let's see. FTX's demise was a fitting end to a year of wealth destruction in the cryptocurrency and blockchain sector. The post-pandemic economic shock, which triggered inflation and rising interest rates, sucked capital out of the speculative crypto ecosystem. prominent firms imploded from the $40 billion collapse in May of algorithmic stablecoin Terra USD. So think about that. We just got two major negative catalysts back to back. We just had Terra USD collapse, you know, the whole Luna craze with dogecoin, and then we got this FTX situation. So the Luna situation was already a surprise. That was already something that was naturally going to hold us down a little bit, put a stain on the crypto space. But this FTX situation, that was kind of like, you know, for some individuals, for some institutional buyers, or I don't even want to just say institution, but let's just say big money sitting on the sidelines that are watching carefully. That was the straw to break the camel's back for them. I believe personally, it will probably take another 5 to 10 years to for the space to grow and show, you know, signs of health before we start seeing some of these, you know, big major players start to step back in. And I don't mean the ones that are taking advantage of buying the dip. I'm talking about the laggards, you know, the ones that are late to evolve into certain technology. Like they, you know, some of the grandfathers and great grandfathers out here, like, yes, they may have worked a lifetime to, you know, make, you know, millions, but they may not be confident just to put it in the crypto space yet. So those are the individuals that I'm talking about. You know, it's going to take, you know, a lot of, we might even have to see a full bull market pass and, you know, turn around before some of these individuals step in. Now, of course, smart money, wise institutional investors, they're going to take this opportunity, this time like this, they're buying. Now, are they buying heavily? I don't believe they're, you know, going all out just yet. You know, but dollar cost averaging, accumulating on, you know, these low prices right now. Of course, if the price pulls back, then they'll buy even more. So that's the strategy that you want to be going with if you're a long-term investor. Get some, you know, of the assets that you did your due diligence on. You have to be confident in those assets. If you're not confident, it's going to be hard for you to hold them if the price pulls back another 20, 30, even 50%. You know, that's what you want to be looking at. Assets that if it pulls back another 50%, you will be okay holding it. And not only just holding it, you will be okay and confident to buy more. That's where a lot of people go wrong. They see their price pull back 10, 20, 30, 40, even 50%, and they panic and jump off the ship. And, you know, there's a lot of tools and software that is used when it comes to trading where, you know, investors can see where average investors are jumping off. And what do? When they see everybody jump off, they buy up the dip. And now you see the price turn right back around after you jumped off the boat. That's one of the main things that I don't want y'all to be discouraged by. You know, the lack of price action that we're seeing right now. I'm just trying to paint the picture to you that the entire market is down. There's nothing we can do about this. This is something that is natural. It has taken place multiple times. I've been in this several times in the crypto space. But what happens later on is things always take off. So, you know, don't get too shook. But man, it's a wild time right now in this space. We're even hearing potentially about Binance having some issues. You know, now right now that could just be FUD, you know, because nothing official came out from what I've seen just yet. But man, if Binance goes down, it's gonna. I've been talking to one of my friends. We might see, you know, crypto go into, you know, an ice age. Now, I'm prepared. I'm somebody who believes in DeFi, the crypto ecosystem. So I'll be fine. You know, I understand what I'm investing in. I'll be here, you know, through whatever happens. But some of those individuals that are less confident, you know, are going to end up losing money because they won't be able to, you know, they most likely put in more money than they're willing to lose. And it's hard to hold on to something when you see the value of it dropping, when you put in more than you're willing to lose. That's why I always tell y'all that. That's like the first rule you should be going by. Do not put in more than you're willing to lose. That way, in case it pulls back, it doesn't bother you. It doesn't make you become emotional. You don't start, you know, calling crypto a scam or just thinking that it's not for you. You just, you know, you'll be able to watch it play out and see how the, you know, the prices can fluctuate. But shout out to y'all that's been pulling up in the chat, man. Salute. Let's see. Forbes Daily Dozen. Trying to get me off. Okay, let's see. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I got Thomas in the building. Salute, bro. Appreciate you pulling up. Real talk, he says, perspective is everything. Conviction is key. Absolutely. It makes it way easier when you got that conviction in what you're holding, because that way, if you see the price drop heavily, now you're just, even more, you're incentivized to buy it now because the price is cheaper and it's something that you actually believe in. It's something that you actually want to hold. So shout out to bro for that. Shout out to One Life, No Regrets. He said, let's go vote Inu. Shout out to my vote army, man. We just turned one. We just passed that 1 year anniversary. Salute. One Life said, I'm going to keep buying vote and Shiba. That would be wise. Remember the dollar cost average over time. That way, if the price pulls back, you get to continue to buy the dip. I love to save enough money to buy the dip on whatever asset I'm looking at accumulating for the point of time. Because, you could reach a certain level where you're comfortable where you're at. But when I'm in a buying, mode, I like to save enough to which I can continue to buy the dip, but I take whatever I plan to put in and I'm breaking it up maybe, 3, 4, 5 different times. So that way I can continue to buy the dip in case the price pulls back further. I can buy more. Price pulls back even further. I can buy even more. Price pulls back further. I can still buy it. And if the price pulls back more, I can still buy it. And I'm not becoming emotional about it because I broke up what I invested in it. So, Gilly said BTC going down, save money if you can. Exactly. You definitely want to keep some dry powder to the side in case we see a $10,000 Bitcoin. If we see Bitcoin go all the way to those levels, you don't want to be able to not take advantage. Shout out to One Life voting up the stream. Shout out to Cecilia, said Professor December. These updates are crazy. Thanks for bringing the real and happy holidays. Hey, Cecilia, appreciate you for pulling up. I got to bring it to y'all. Thomas said, big business still wants Bitcoin as a hedge. 1% allocation of half of the Fortune 500 will move the market. Hey, that's a point. You got a point there. I just seen, a few institutions basically approve a law that allows basically these hedge funds to hold up to like 3% of their clients' assets in cryptocurrency now. So that's a big move right there. We're seeing a lot of adoption taking place. We're seeing a lot of people, implement things and put things, start to build on the foundation of things. And that wouldn't be happening if crypto was over with. We just might have to see, this contraction, this ice age take place if it's going to be one. People call it the crypto winter. And after that, we're going to see, the people who stuck around, the people who built during that time, we're going to see them be rewarded for that. Shout out to Lawrence Lopez pulling up, voting the stream, said vote Inu. Thomas said valid, can't get emotional because it's not personal. Absolutely. So let's see. FTX's demise was a fitting end to a year of wealth destruction in the cryptocurrency and blockchain sector. The post-pandemic, this is why I always tell y'all, don't be afraid to take some profits. I'm never the one that y'all will hear saying, don't sell, don't sell, don't sell, don't sell, don't sell, don't sell. Of course, I believe in diamond handing, pays off. But at the same time, always take a little off the top. Nobody ever went broke taking profit. That way, no matter where the prices fall, you still were able to take something off the table. Now, the post-pandemic economic shock, which triggered inflation and rising interest rates, sucked capital out of the speculative crypto ecosystem. Prominent firms imploded from the $40 billion collapse in May of algorithmic stablecoin Terra USD to the crypto hedge fund Three Arrows, which declared for bankruptcy in July, to the bankruptcies of interest-bearing lending businesses Voyager Digital, Celsius, and BlockFi. Bitcoin, the largest cryptocurrency and an industry bellwether, is down 65% from its $69,000 peak in November 2021. So to those that are saying, vote Inu is down, 60, 70% or whatever the percentage is, 80%, whatever, look at the overall leader in the market. Bitcoin is down 65%. So if Bitcoin is down 65%, most likely all the other assets, are going to be hit harder. Bitcoin is the OG. Bitcoin is the grandfather of the space. So more people are going to have confidence in Bitcoin than any other asset. So to see, some of these other assets down 65%, 70%, even 75%, that's just a part of the game, y'all. You just got to understand that when Bitcoin is back up, all these other assets will rise as well. So Meanwhile, some 2 trillion of market value has fled digital assets for safer pastures. So if you remember back in October, November 2021, the overall crypto market was valued at over $3 trillion. Over 3 trillion. Right now it's sitting under 1 trillion at around $811 billion. So we're down significantly from those all-time highs. That means everything in the pot is feeling it, you know. So just don't ever think it's too personal. As a result, 17 of crypto's wealthiest investors and founders have collectively lost an estimated of 116 billion in personal wealth since March. According to Forbes estimates, 15 of them have lost more than their fortune over the past 9 months, more than half of their fortune over the last 9 months. 10 have lost their billionaire status altogether. So we're now at the breaking point in crypto where everyone will have to take a pause and say, okay, we've seen a ton of economic wealth destroyed in the last couple months. We need to start taking this seriously. And remember, it wasn't just destroyed. Wealth isn't just destroyed, it's just redistributed. So it went to someone else. So keep that in mind as well. Like Warren Buffett says, these markets are a device to transfer money from the hands of the impatient to the patient. So, the bigger players that are sitting back, bigger institutions, the bigger people that, got the nets, set open for years and years, they have different checkpoints along the way where this money, comes back to them, through all different, business ventures. It happens. Trust me, that money is funneling back to the people at the top. So, says, okay, we've seen a ton of economic wealth destroyed in the last couple of months. We need to start taking this seriously, says Matt Cohen, founder of Ripple Ventures and a venture capital firm. A lot of blockchain technologies and crypto companies built solutions for problems that didn't need fixing. And I think now we're going to have a hard reset. And, that's a good thing for the space, to see a lot of bad actors, pointless things shaken out of the space, to get out of the way right now. It's good to see that. It's like a natural healing of the market. It's going to shake, the things that don't need to be. It's going to shake them off or aren't strong enough to be. It's going to shake them out of the space. So here's the list of some of the top crypto billionaires and where their net worth has fell to now. So we got CZ. He once had a net worth of 65 billion. Now his net worth is down to 4.5 billion. SBF, 24 billion, and now down to 0. So don't feel too bad, y'all. There's other, people that lost a lot more money than you did. Of course, it's still gonna, weigh on you, but just understand it's not a personal thing. Everybody was hit. Brian Armstrong from Coinbase once was at 6 billion, now down to 1.5 billion. Gary Wang, FTX Alameda Research, 5.9 billion, down to 0. Chris Larson, Ripple XRP, 4.3 billion, down to 2.1 billion. Tyler Winklevoss and Cameron Winklevoss, both 4 billion, down to 1.1 billion. Barry Silbert, Digital Currency Group, 3.2 billion, down to 0. Jed McCaleb from XRP, 2.5 billion, down to 2.4 billion. Nikhil from Alchemy, 2.4 billion, down to 600 million. Joseph, also from Alchemy, 2.4 billion, down to 600 million. Devin Finzer from OpenSea, Alex Atala from OpenSea, once were both at 2.2 billion, down to 600 million, which down, still very rich, but it's a big hit. Michael Saylor, down from 1.6 billion to 640 million. Matthew Rozak, 1.4 billion to 1 billion, and Tim Draper, 1.2 billion to 550 million. So, everybody was hit, y'all. Let's see. Salute to everybody in the building. Shout out to Maria. Maria said, what's up, guys? Blessings to you, D. Always staying diligent. Love from our family. Salute. Appreciate you. Shout out to the fam. Happy holidays, everybody. Shout out to Nanya. Merry Christmas, y'all. Salute to y'all reaching out to the channel. We'll tap in with y'all after this stream. Okay, so let's see what else we got in the news. SBF's FTX pals ran massive multi-year crypto fraud, says the SEC. SBF sent home and Binance gets Voyager's assets. So if you don't remember, Binance just put in a $1 billion bid to take over Voyager. This is what I believe, kind of what FTX was attempting to do when, he was going down, when FTX was going down. He was attempting to buy out, BlockFi, all these other exchanges, Voyager, and it looks like CZ actually was able to do this. So let's see. SBF sent home after his parents put up their house to cover his astronomical bail bond. How do y'all feel about that? How do y'all feel about him pulling off a scam this large and being able to basically just, I'm not saying he walked free from it, but he's back at home right now. He's back in the United States, essentially, of course, maybe some type of electric monitoring or something like that, but he's back at home nonetheless, and he's not living like he's on $0. So with his family in Palo Alto, California, after his parents secured $250 million in bail funds with the equity in their home. Among the conditions of the bail are home detention, location monitoring, and his passport surrender. The former FTX CEO signed surrender documents on December 20th, allowing his extradition from the Bahamas to the United States, where he faces 8 charges that could keep him behind bars for the rest of his life. Bankman will now wait for his sentence at home with his family. How do y'all feel about that? Let me know in the comments section. How do y'all feel about SBF pulling off a $10 to $16 billion fraud and, being back at home for the holidays, $250 million bail, the largest bail in U.S. history? Like, are y'all okay with him? Do y'all think that's right? Y'all got to give me some feedback, man. I want to see how y'all feel about this. Because me personally, I think that's absolutely crazy. You steal $10 billion until everybody get, their money back. You can hang it up. You can go on and hang it up. Luckily, me personally, myself, I never used FTX and never promoted it on my channel. But I still know people that, are a part of my community that did have funds on FTX. And I'm not talking about small funds either. I'm talking about, money that will, force them to have to, that will push their retirement back, things like that. And that's a big blow for people, So him, getting to gamble with everybody's funds, have as much fun as he wanted to, and ruin millions of people's holidays, and just to be home back for the holidays is like, nah, that's crazy. That's crazy if you ask me. Maria said, and they'll still be on top what they get to file like Chapter 11 bankruptcy criminals. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. They will allow this man when they'll take a petty criminal off the street and he'd have been doing, he'd already been sentenced by now, and no way of coming home. But because of who he is, the reach he has, he's able to be home for the holidays. I just think that's absolutely ridiculous. I think that bail was too low. Yes, it was the highest bail in U.S. history, but at the same time, if you just stole $10 billion to $16 billion, your bail should be $10 to $16 billion. That's what we'll need, and that's what we'll be talking. Till all the customers' funds are up, that would be the equivalent of the bail. King Virgo said everyone that had FTX should be able to stone him. Hey, I can't agree with that, or I can't add to that, but man, he definitely ruined some people's lives, to be honest. Maria said, "Give me my stone." Nazaya said he should be made an example of, but his roots run deep. True. We know his parents are basically like high-level tax lawyers, if I'm not mistaken. They help create some of the tax laws in the United States, or influence some of them. So hold on, let me look this up exactly. SBF's parents. I know they are deeply connected. Okay, so here's an article real quick. Who are his parents? So SBF law professor parents have stuck close by their son throughout the fall from FTX's collapse. Here's what we know about him. Barbara and Joseph Bankman are the parents of FTX co-founder. SBF have stuck they stuck close by him, and here's what we know about him. It says, so he faces multiple fraud charges tied to the spectacular collapse of FTX, which he was released on $250 million bail Thursday, shortly after he landed in the U.S. after being extradited from the Bahamas. As part of his bail terms, SBF, who also co-founded crypto trading firm Alameda Research, is required to stay at his parents' home while he awaits trial. His parents, Joseph Bankman and Barbara Fry, live in a multi-million-dollar home in Stanford, in San Francisco Bay Area, according to news reports and state records. Zillow estimates the value of the 5-bedroom home at about $4 million, while Redfin's estimate is $3.1 million. Okay, so it looks like $250 million. If maybe in California they might do where you only have to put like 10% of the actual bail. So if the bail is 250 million, then you might have to put up like 25 million. So if they put up the house, that's about 4 million. And of course they had to probably add some other assets in there as well. SBF was arrested in the Bahamas December 12th. The next day, his parents attended his court hearing in Nassau, the capital of Bahamas, where he was denied bail. They later visited the prison where their son was being held. The Wall Street Journal reported the couple as telling friends that they expected their son's legal bills to wipe them out financially. Sheesh. At least he got his parents, willing to hold him down. But of course, he loaded them up as well in the process, buying them millions of dollars worth of properties. So what do we know about Joseph Bankman? So Bankman is a professor of law at Stanford University. He's described in his biography on Stanford's website as a leading scholar in the field of tax law. He's also a clinical psychologist, having earned a degree in field from Palo Alto University. New York Magazine reported that he's offered lunchtime sessions to first-year Stanford law students on cognitive behavioral therapy and managing anxiety. A spokesperson from Bankman told the Wall Street Journal that Bankman was a paid FTX employee for 11 months, in which time he worked on charitable projects and was not involved in the running of the company. So he was paid by his son's company for 11 months. Of course, that was the plug right there. He plugged his parents in. Let's see. Bankman helped FTX recruit its first lawyers, joined FTX executives in meetings on Capitol Hill, and advised his son as he prepared to testify before the House of Financial Services Committee. So basically, his pops is somebody well-connected, understands, tax law to a very high level, is very influential, Stanford professor, a doctor, so he's definitely well-connected. The Times also reported that Bankman organized an FTX event at the Miami Heat's FTX Arena in March, where local high school students pitched business ideas to a panel of judges. A tax policy class that Bankman was set to teach in the winter quarter was canceled, and the Journal reported that he postponed the course to the spring. A reading group he was set to lead had also been canceled, according to Stanford's course catalog. So what about Barbara? Barbara Fried worked as a professor of law at Stanford until she retired from teaching in September. Her scholarly interests were at the intersection of law, economics, and philosophy. According to her biography and on the university's website, the New York Times reported that Fried and her husband were popular faculty members at Stanford and regularly hosted dinners for colleagues. Fried writes short stories and poems. She also penned a biography of the economist and lawyer Robert Hale and worked as a review editor for the journal Philosophy and Public Affairs. Fried graduated from Harvard University in 1983. Per her Stanford biography, her first job after graduating was a law clerk to U.S. Circuit Judge J. Edward Lombard. So she's tapped in with the, with the courts, the Court of Appeals. She went on to practice as an associate at Paul Wise, Rifkin, Wharton, and Garrison. Freed joined Stanford as an assistant professor in 1987 and went on to win multiple awards for excellence in teaching. She also had stints as visiting professor at the New York University Law School. Her biography says Freed co-founded Mind the Gap, a Democratic super PAC from which she resigned from in November 2022, Time says. So basically, a group of what I've researched so far and found is like basically on the, some people may call it on the hush, of course they're a public group, but they operate privately. It's a group that pushes the Democratic agenda. So you could tie that to where you wanted to. So she resigned in November 2022. So amidst all this crazy stuff happening, she resigned. So Bankman-Fried's parents may have helped shape his interest in effective altruism. Prior to FTX's collapse, Bankman-Fried was a poster boy for effective altruism, a movement in which followers commit to doing the most good for the largest number of people using science, evidence, and reason. Will McAskill, an academic at Oxford University and a central force behind effective altruism, is said to have introduced Bankman-Fried to the movement. However, Bankman-Fried's parents appear to have had some hand in shaping his philosophical outlook. An article published on the website of Sequoia Capital, the venture capital firm, said Bankman and Fried raised their son on utilitarian beliefs, including family discussion about how to do the greatest good for the largest number of people. Both have an academic interest in corporate ethics, and his mother has written a review of a book by Peter Singer, seen by many as the originator of the effective altruism movement. Bankman and Fried have been tied to an FTX-linked luxury property in the Bahamas. Bankman and Fried aren't named as defendants in the lawsuit filed, but by U.S. regulators and federal prosecutors against the FTX and their son. However, the Securities and Exchange Commission has accused their son of misappropriating FTX customer funds to purchase Bahamian real estate for various people, including his parents. So this is absolutely wild, y'all, if y'all ask me. We got a super chat in. Shout out to Elliot G89 for the super chat. He said, check out Tuesday. Okay, we're gonna have to check it out, man. Let's see. Shout out to Arian, said 2023 is the year of the rabbit, and Tuesday has a strong community and will take over as Shiba did in 2021. So we're gonna have to check out Tuesday, man. I see the Tuesday community pulled up on us. Shout out to Mert as well. Wait, hold on. King Virgo said, Maria Davis, however much money you have will be the weight of your stone. December, go check out Tuesday, bro. The dev for it was the dev for Catcoin that hit 80 million market cap all-time high. Okay, I want to ask you a few questions. How do you know that is the same developer for Catcoin? How do you know for sure, for certain? And then what do you like about the project besides it's the same developer? King Virgo said, really hope everyone that had FTX get their funds back, though, for real. Most definitely. King Virgo said, hey, like David Slay Goliath, or Maria said that. Ilya said it's at 500K right now after a nice run up to $1 million, going to millions next week. I want to know, how do you know for certain it's the same developer from Catcoin, and what else do you like besides it being the same developer? What's up with the tokenomics? What's up with the utility? Let me know. Is the community strong? Let me know what's up. Shout out to Marky Fast, said DeMarco, my homie, was good. Merry Christmas from Australia. Salute, bro. Appreciate you pulling up on me. Why is my camera tripping? Okay, hopefully y'all can still hear me. Drop ones in the chat if y'all can still hear me. I'm not sure why my camera just blanked out like that, but let's see. Let's get that back fixed. Drop ones in the chat if you could still hear me. We just gonna rock like this till the camera turns back on. So Shout out to Lauren said the Bit Squad may have found a personal wallet owned by Sam Bankman. They may have been where the money came from to flip the bill for his bailout. It's very interesting. Where is that video at? Let me know where that video at. We're gonna check that out live on the stream. So he was buying his parents' real estate, you know, he was going crazy with customer funds. That's the crazy part about it. Okay, so y'all can still hear me. Okay. I think my camera might have died. But they clearly make a come up on this mess and make it appear like a loss. Yet all at the expense of the people. Exactly. That's one thing to keep in mind. You know, of course, they're gonna make it look like, you know, they're hit hard, but at the end of the day, those pipes got so wet, you know, they got so, you know, so much, you know, money ducked off in areas that people don't know. That's why I said his bail should have been the number that, you know, was stolen from customers. At the very least, the money that was taken out of customers' funds, that should have been his bail amount. Until we get that, you ain't going nowhere, buddy. But hey, that's just me, man. I don't like people taking advantage of people, especially now it's one thing if you don't do your due diligence and you end up investing into something that just failed due to bad business or something like that. But to flat out scam people, to tell people, okay, to show you in your account this is how much money you have in there, and then on the back end you really don't have those funds available, they're basically robbing Peter to pay Paul. Like, nah, y'all doing too much. But Marky Fast said, did I miss the vote update? My bag is finally over 1 billion. No, you did not. We just kicking it right now, talking crypto news. Yeah, I can, bro. Okay. Appreciate y'all. BitBoy channel on YouTube. Okay, let's check out something real quick. Check out a little something real quick. So y'all wanted me to check out that what was it called? Tuesday. Let's see. Okay, down 30% right now. Is this the right one? Okay, that's the Ethereum. Okay, let's pull this up on the stream. So this is the one that they want us to check out, y'all. So y'all checking it out right here with me at the same time that I'm checking it out. I haven't heard of this one yet. Haven't seen this one yet, but we checking it out. Shout out to everybody in the building, man. I see y'all pulling up in the chat. Shout out to all the real ones. Hit that like button. Share the stream somewhere also. Shout out to Two. Shout out to Lauren. Shout out to Green Grass Acres. Okay, so we're looking at Tuesday right now, down 30%. Now, to be honest, most people would look at that as a bad thing, but I prefer to buy in on the pullback. I don't like to chase, the candles. I don't like to chase candles. That's a recipe for disaster. So it looks like this project is fairly new, just dropped around December 17th. One thing I don't like though so far is that I asked the Tuesday members, what did y'all like about this project aside from it being the developer of Catcoin? And y'all ain't give me none yet. But taking a look at it, we can see it is right along a decent support area right here. Notice how we seen resistance here before it broke out and came back down to retest this same area here. So this would be an area that, I'll be checking out. Now, depending on if the hype, and the momentum has died for it, it might, not make it back above this, but this is not a bad entry. 30% discount for the day. We can see in the last 24 hours, they had 114K volume, 374 transactions, 177 buys, 197 sales. So more selling pressure right now than buyers buying at the current moment. See what else we can see for this one. Let's check out the Twitter. Oh no, we don't want to share it. That's not what we meant to do. Okay, I'm gonna check it out on Etherscan. Okay, let's pull it up right here on Dex Tools. So we can see from Dex Tools showing us that it has 793 holders so far within since the 17th. So about what, 7 days and 1 week, 793 holders. That's not bad. That's not bad, to be honest. If we take a look at where the price is on the Bollinger Bands, we can see it still can pull back a little bit to around maybe that 4 or 6 level, maybe right around there. It is technically, what hour are we on? Okay, no, we on a 15-minute. Let's go to the 4-hour. Let's take a look at the 4-hour, holding right above that mid Bollinger Band, holding nicely right there. That's a good support area. We want to look at RSI though. Our RSI down here is at a level of 53. So a 53, kind of right in the middle, not yet overbought, not yet oversold, which tells us, we're basically waiting for the community to actually decide which way does it want to go. It could lose steam here and fall under that level. And we're on a 4-hour chart. So the 4-hour shows us that it can pull all the way back to that 18 level on looking at the lower Bollinger Band. So, be careful with this one if you do decide to grab some. Now, total transactions over 4,000 in a week. So people are transacting the token. Only 54K in liquidity, $500,000 market cap. It is still, fairly new. 1 week, sitting at a $500,000 market cap. They said it went up to $1 million market cap. I would have liked to catch this one a little earlier in the days, but if the community is solid, it should be okay. Let's see. Let's check out the Twitter page. Does anyone know the official Tuesday Twitter page? Let me know if y'all know the official. So I'm checking out right here. I'm looking up the hashtags, but I'm not sure which page is the official. Okay, shout out to Green Grass Acres with another super chat. It says toe over on Crow Network, Jim. Okay, we might check that one out too. Let me know if y'all know the official Tuesday page. Not sure. So that's one thing I would be worried about. Now, and this is just for y'all listening that are learning the crypto game, learning how to navigate, which projects are good to buy in, which ones are not. You see how I asked them a simple question. I asked them what's their official Twitter page, what trying to get more information on the project to potentially bring it to the channel. And their community is now strong enough to make that happen. So we're gonna keep that in mind. They do have a lot of people sharing the project. So I think we found it right here, 2Z ERC. But I don't like the lack of community engagement so far. So let's see. 2Z aims to be the leading meme coin in 2023, the year of the rabbit. 2Z translates to rabbit in Chinese. So 2Z ERC is the Twitter page. Shout out to the Las Vegas Aces, 2022 champions. So 2Z says Merry Christmas to everyone from the 2Z. So right now what I'm taking a look at is the engagement on the post. So I can see 23 likes here, 15 retweets, 265, 40 here on this one by Crypto Matt. You seen 2Z, they made the Messiah 2Z, 82 likes, 54 retweets. Imagine all the attention 2Z will have after Christmas as the biggest meme coin going into 2023 with the strongest narrative. 2Z 55, 26. So I like the art that they created so far. I want to see how many of them that they have done. We just hit $1 million market cap and burned the liquidity. 2Z ETH. Okay. Guess it's time to say I'm the dev. Cyrus 2Z previously worked on Catcoin. Okay. 1 million, 57.65. As promised, since we hit 750K, we're giving away 0.75 ETH. Okay, it could have some potential, but I'm not sure if it's strong enough yet. They got B Roots in there. Crypto Messiah. So I thought they might have had like an entire collection of this artwork with different themed characters. It looks like that is it for this one. So I don't know. We'll keep an eye out for it. So right now the price of 2Z is at, just for y'all that's watching and want to keep an eye on this one. The price right now is at 6 zeros and 5,041. So that 5,041 level with 6 zeros in front of it. Okay, so let's check out this other one. Simi, what's the Twitter page for Toe? Let's go back, check out some crypto market news. JP Morgan's growth says crypto about non-existent for institutions. So let's check this article out. Crypto is effectively non-existent for big institution, JP Morgan's growth says. Industry volatility is too high, notes strategist Jared Gross. Cryptocurrencies have had an awful year with Bitcoin down 60%. Oh, they got me paywalled, I think. Let me see. Can I read this? Oh, no, I can't read this. So some more FUD they got in the market. SEC will use all available tools to crack down on crypto firms that aren't in compliance with this rule, says Chair Gensler. So, he's receiving a lot of backlash because basically a lot of people are putting some of the fault or blame on him when it comes to the FTX situation, because tons of people were asking for crypto regulation, and this is who was in charge of doing it. And he was pulling a allegedly, we want to regulate crypto, we want to enforce it, we want to, but on the back end, he really didn't want to, because allegedly he was receiving a lot of unregulated funds on the back end. So it's basically in his best interest not to regulate it, because if he did, then some of the rules that were in place would stop him from receiving some of the funds that he received. So keep that in mind as well. We got another super chat. Shout out to Marky Faz. Says shout out Avalti, my G. I don't know who Avalti is, but shout out to him, bro. Appreciate the super chat. At Camel Toe Can. Okay. That's the Twitter. Shout out to Devontae Cat right in the building. Appreciate you pulling up on us. Okay, let's see. After this, we'll check that out. So the chairman of the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, Gary Gensler, has revealed that regulators will use all available tools to bring crypto platforms into compliance with these rules. In addition, the SEC chief said proof of reserves is neither a full accounting of the assets and liability of a company, nor does it satisfy segregation of customer funds under the securities law. SEC Chair Gensler on crypto regulation. The chairman stressed the importance of bringing crypto platforms into compliance after securities regulator filed charges against former Alameda Research CEO Carolyn Ellison and former FTX executive Gary Wang for their role to defraud equity investors. The SEC boss tweeted Wednesday, until crypto platforms comply with time-tested securities laws, risk to investors will persist. It remains a priority of the SEC to use all of our available tools to bring the industry into compliance. So basically, he's letting everybody know he's going to be putting the squeeze down. But I only think that's backlash from everybody that's been breathing down his neck for his lack of action when it comes to providing some type of regulatory framework. So even after FTX, SEC chair sees no need for new crypto laws. Yeah, right. So crypto adds unsavory footnote to dreadful 2022 year rug. Let's see. So basically the headlines are all, basically full with FUD, bad information on crypto right now. Think about how long it's going to take for that narrative to change. Think about how long it's going to take for, people to start looking at the industry different. Like, let's see something. When did Madoff do the crime? When did Madoff? Okay, so when? So 2008, which was a big time, for all that linked into the recession. And think about it. I'll say it took about, we still hear people talking about Madoff to this day, but I say it was at least a good, before people start even entertaining banks and things like that again, at least 4 to 5 years, maybe even longer, to really think about it. But I'm, in my mind, I want to say 2000, maybe 2012 to 14, maybe even around 15. Okay, let's see. Okay, now I'm checking out this meme coin we just got put on by Green Acres. Let's see. Let's check it out. So it is called Toe. Camel Toe Can. Camel Toe Can NFT collection. So it's been around since June. Only 376 followers, followed by Coinbase gems. Let's see. Last post, my man Real Stock Nado is bringing that alpha. Check out the video and your chance for a whitelist. 28 likes, 7 likes here, 8 retweets. So Camel's whitelist requirements for Camel NFT drop. Okay, so it looks like a new project that's well, not even so much as new because it has been around for a while. Camels, you guys are on fire. Yet another all-time high, 2.5 billion supply. Let's check it out on the charts. Okay, let's grab a contract address here. Check it out. Let's see what we got. Okay, up 42% today. Market cap only at 22K. In the last 24 hours, it is up 42% with a buy of for 42 buys for and 8 sales for a total transaction volume of 1,300. So this is a very small project. It's only 13K in liquidity, but this could be one of those early ones. This is not financial advice. Only 22K in there. Let's see when it started. December 11th. If it was a little newer, and y'all know I don't like to buy projects at all-time high, no way. I would be waiting for a pullback. If I was to get into this project, maybe back around to the. Let's actually use our Fibonacci tool. So yeah, right around where we said, around that 6,000 level. So 60, what is that? 6,200 level, 6,100 level, 50% level is around 53. We know if it pulls back further than this 53 area right here, it's likely to turn bearish. If it pulls back to this area, find support, it could keep going. If it pulls back to this area, find support, it could keep going. But once it starts to touch in this range right here, it's likely to continue to fall down. So keep that in mind. Take a look at this 1 trillion or $1.7 trillion bill. Salute, shout out to Eddie T, one of the channel members in the building, man. Salute to you pulling up on us, bro. Said, what up? Smash that like button and subscribe. Salute. Shout out to everybody in the building. Zen Crypto in the building, the digital era. Devontae Cat Wright said, Merry Christmas, everyone. Shout out again to those with the super chats. Definitely appreciate y'all pulling up. Let's see. Now let's talk about this $1.7 trillion spending bill. Why this is important is because I like to use this as an indicator when the bottom of the market is in. If we, history repeats itself. If we take a look back and we go back to a time where the corona pandemic first hit, Bitcoin, Ethereum, all these crypto assets pulled back significantly. And if you pay attention to where the market turned around is where the Federal Reserve started pumping money back into the markets. Once people started getting all these stimulus checks and all the other things started taking place, that's when the markets turn around. Why? Because money is being added back into the ecosystem or to the economy. And in turn, when people get free bands, free money, they're going to, try to invest it. Some people will waste it, but a good majority of people will start to, invest in things that they couldn't afford before. So trying to, make it out of that. Okay, so House clears $1.7 trillion spending bill, averting shutdown. 6 hours ago, let's see. Now, I already took a look at this bill. Well, what's inside of the bill, but I'm going to go over it with y'all. So, Congress on Friday cleared roughly 1.7 trillion government funding package that will provide significant increase to national security and domestic spending and billions of dollars of aid to Ukraine, sending the measure to President Biden's desk for his signature. The bill was the last major legislative accomplishment of the 117th Congress and set aside $858 billion in funds for the military that Republicans pushed for, and more than $772 billion for the education, health, and veterans programs Democrats have championed. The measure, approved just before Christmas Eve, is the second major government funding bill passed during the Biden administration and served as the final opportunity for congressional Democrats to shape the federal budget while they retain control of both chambers. On nearly party lines, the House approved the more than 4,000-page bill by a vote of 225 to 201, with one lawmaker voting present a day after it was shepherded through the Senate. It concluded a scramble driven by the threat of both a government shutdown and a winter storm, a desire to enact unfinished legislation before the start of divided government next month, and a surprise appearance in Washington this week by President Volodymyr Zelensky of Ukraine, who urged continued investment in his country's fight against Russian invasion. So I believe he got around $50 million to make that trip, if I'm not mistaken. Biden is expected to sign. The bill is further proof that Republicans and Democrats can come together to deliver for the American people. To ensure that the government does not run out of funds and shut down at the end of Friday. They always make sure they don't run out of funds. That's the crazy part. We have a big bill here because we have big needs for our country. Speaker Nancy Pelosi of California said on Friday, noting that it was most likely her last speech on the House floor as Speaker. So Nancy Pelosi about to retire. So let's skip to more of what's inside of it. So the package also set aside more than $15 billion for lawmakers to direct money to over 7,200 community projects in their districts and states. The rebranded form of earmarks. Let's see what else. By providing billions of dollars to aid Ukraine government and replenish U.S. weaponry already sent abroad, it also brings the American investment in the country's war effort to more than $100 billion this year. So far, the United States put over $100 billion into the Ukraine. Absolutely mind-boggling. Lawmakers also included about $40 billion to assist federal agencies and local communities as they rebuild after droughts, wildfires, and hurricanes this year. It's not a question of whether it's perfect or not. It's a very good bill, said Representative Rosa DeLauro of Connecticut, the chairwoman of the Appropriations Committee. It addressed some of those serious issues that this country faces and its challenges. The package contained a multitude of bipartisan legislative and fiscal priorities beyond the basic requirements that Congress continue to fund the government. It expands federal protections in the workplace for pregnant and breastfeeding mothers, bans TikTok on federal government devices. That was another big talking point. Government officials using any type of government tablet, phone, any communication device will no longer be able to access TikTok. They have fears because the Chinese government owns all Chinese companies essentially, and basically it's a Chinese company that owns TikTok. So they're saying through all the privacy terms of conditions and whatnot that you agree to, you're given a lot of access to these companies when you have TikTok installed on your phone. And if it was installed on government phones, they could be receiving some top secret information. So they're trying to prevent that. It also where we at? Okay, that would change how millions of Americans handle their retirement savings. It also includes changes related to infant formula supply and how the Food and Drug Administration regulates and tracks cosmetics. Under the bill, states will be allowed in April to begin reassessing which Americans are still eligible for Medicaid after a pandemic-era policy required people in the program to be covered during the federal COVID-19 public health emergency declaration. It shores up access to health care, including proposals that guarantee children enrolled in Medicaid and the federal children's health insurance program can retain access for a full year regardless of whether their family's income changes, and that establishes a set funding stream for the Indian Health Service in the months ahead. The package also includes substantial elements of a bipartisan plan to ensure the United States is better prepared for future pandemics, though lawmakers jettisoned another round of emergency aid to counter the total coronavirus pandemic and a proposal to establish an independent commission to investigate how the government handled the spread of the virus. And at the end of a Congress that began with mobs storming the Capitol during the certification of Mr. Biden's 2020 election victory, lawmakers agreed to overhaul an archaic 135-year-old law, the Electoral Count Act, which former President Trump and his supporters tried to exploit so he could remain in power. Not every unfinished bipartisan priority made it into the package. In order to retain some Republican support, lawmakers dropped proposals that would have changed the tax code, including a revival of expanded monthly payments to most families with children, as well as bipartisan marijuana banking legislation, an effort to address the limit on the nation's borrowing cap, and a proposal that would have given Afghan refugees a direct path to legal immigration status. The vote was sparsely attended after more than half the House members submitted the pandemic error letter that allows a colleague to vote on their behalf. Both parties used proxy voting, though hardline Republicans made a point of railing against the practice and the distortion of its use in speeches on the House floor. The spending package is widely seen as the last guarantee bill to keep the government funded, as Republicans prepare to take control of the House on January 3rd and leverage their new majority to force the Biden administration and Democrats to accept deep spending cuts that liberals have vowed to oppose. It served as a swan song for lawmakers retiring after decades in Congress, notably Senator Patrick J. Leahy, Democrat of Vermont, and Richard C. Shelby, Republican of Alabama, from the helm of Appropriations Committee, and champions of the spending process who are stepping away from leadership, like Ms. Pelosi and Representative Steny H. Hoyer of Maryland, the majority leader. The vote tally exposed the stark contrast between House and Senate Republicans and their opposing approaches to the government spending, foreshadowing potentially bitter political battles in the new year. More than a third of Republicans in the Senate voted in favor of the bill, including Senator Mitch McConnell of Kentucky, the minority leader. Only 9 House Republicans backed the measure. I have concerns about the size and scope of the package, said Representative Kay Granger of Texas, who is poised to remain to the top Republican of the Appropriations Committee. I'm disappointed that I'm unable to support this bill, she added, citing the increase for programs unrelated to military spending. So we can see a lot of different things inside of this bill. Basically, I don't see too many things. Well, they did have something for communities, I believe, 7,200 programs. Where was that? Right here. So they set aside 15 billion out of 1.7 trillion for community programs. Absolutely wow. But nonetheless, to debate over what's inside the bill, I look at this as a key turning point in the markets. Now this could help the markets stabilize a little bit, but of course we got the FTX situation hanging over us as well. We got to see how that fully plays out, and who else is actually affected by this as well. Let's see what the Federal Reserve is talking about. Honey Glaze said that 1.7 trillion bill is BS. Most of it is special interest and funds to punish Americans. And no one can explain where the $100 billion went. Not even FBF, Gensler, or Zelensky himself know where all that money went. He even threatened the U.S. if they didn't get this money passed. Who you saying threatened? Imagine working 26 years and at the whisk of a pen, Biden just cut your 401k by 20% and just shrugs when you ask why. And then he puts hashtag Bitcoin. Who are you saying was making the threats, bro? So news, Republican senators propose overhaul of Federal Reserve amid concerns about politics. And then we also got the Fed misreads the inflation numbers. Federal Reserve signals it will continue raising rates in 2023. So if they continue raising interest rates, we know that that's most likely going to be bad for crypto. Now, of course, you got to be, you got to watch what's happening and watch what they're saying at the same time, because sometimes what they're saying can be different from what's actually taking place. We did just see a $1.7 trillion bill get passed. Now, that can likely have a positive effect in the markets, but we don't see too much money, going to the actual people. So it's not like people are receiving a stimulus check this time, or, like we're seeing, all these different programs that, boosted up retail buyers funds, so that way they have more money to invest. We don't really see that just yet, but we know once they do start providing bailouts and packages for retail or everyday people, most likely that money is going to go towards the speculative assets like crypto, stocks, and whatnot. So here's everything the Federal Reserve is expected. Okay, that was already old. Let's check out Coin Market Cap. Take a look at these prices. Then we'll check out the Shib Army Reddit page. And then we'll check out Vote Inu. So we got Shiba Inu at that 8317 level, basically trading sideways. Overall crypto market at $810 billion right now. So still significantly under that 1 trillion level, where we're seeing Ethereum around 15, 1600, Bitcoin, possibly 22, 23. Also BNB right now at 244, up 2% on the week. Basically everything just kind of trading sideways right here. The market trying to figure out, what's about to take place. How bad is this whole FTX situation? Who all was, basically caught, who else will be found out to be, basically swimming naked, as they say. Also, Doge right now 7 cent. We got Polygon at 79 cent, Cardano 25 cent. We got Polkadot at $4.45 right now. Tron at 5 cent, Litecoin at $65 right now, Shib at number 15, 83.17. Then we got Solana at 11.41. If you remember, Shib, Solana, and Litecoin and Tron as well have all been, trading spots basically going back and forth. We've seen Shiba Inu sometime this week up to like almost a $5 billion market cap, maybe even 5.1. So at current times, that would have put Shiba Inu at number 12 by market cap. But remember, as Shiba Inu pulls back, all the rest of the market pulls back as well. So it's not just us feeling it. Now let's go check out the Reddit page. So daily discussion. Nothing much. We know once this daily discussion section starts heating up that everybody's back excited. So here's that update. We dropped a video on. Satoshi told us that Shibarium would not be coming during Christmas or New Year's, that it will be releasing sometime after that. So here's that tweet. Happy holidays to more than half the world. When Shibarium, please know it will come very soon, but not during a crucial time for people to spend with their family or the resulting New Year party time. Enjoy these next days. Next year is an important one for humanity. So Satoshi letting us know, 2023 is going to be big. Let's see what individuals are saying about that. Love these messages, but why the asterisk with no reference? Soon is generic enough to not need a caveat. It's probably because it's their definition of soon, which probably isn't. Someone else says for humanity. So you notice they got the asterisk right there. Merry Christmas. And one day, I hope everyone has a safe holidays. Merry Christmas, Shiba Inu family. Merry Christmas, fellow sheep. Just bought myself a plot of land in the Shiba verse as a present to myself. So somewhere in the sheep yard, it looks like. Here's another post. Something big is coming, guys. It's a big pump from Binance. Get ready for the takeoff. Shiba Inu news. Binance to add $76 million of SHIB. And Shiba Inu price pump near. No, that's misleading. The part is that is part of Voyager's asset, which Binance is trying to buy. Binance is not buying 76 million more worth of SHIB. Okay, so that's a little out of context, y'all. So we know that Binance is buying Voyager. So in due to that, they'll be receiving $76 million worth of Shiba Inu. So it's not going to be new tokens purchased. Let's see what else we got here. My first SHIB purchase. Welcome to the SHIB fam, whoever this is. Hand_love. Have a feeling it's a SHIB Christmas 4-hour coiled. Bought some more SHIB earlier, an early Christmas present. Had my SHIB buried. SHIB in the top 2,000 ETH whales. Here's hoping we eat a zero for Christmas. We would need some type of good news to come in. Shiba Inu isn't just going to move just because it's Christmas. We need some type of bullish catalyst. So now let's move over to Twitter. Check out Vote Inu. Shout out to my Vote Army. So Vote Inu now on 103 different exchanges, y'all. Satoshi also, someone in the Vote Army had a voted Christmas event, basically going around buying the kids Christmas presents. That was super, super dope. Love to see that. Vote Inu will be more than ready for the next voted run. 103 exchanges with massive volume on tier 1 exchanges like Gate and Polyneics, sponsoring a Hollywood movie. If you didn't know that, Vote is sponsoring a movie that will be possibly released on Netflix or, somewhere big, but featured on TV by NASDAQ. And it created the first deflationary decentralized exchange. Vote Change, basically burning any token that is listed on it. Also, billboards, athletes, buses, and marketing happening all over the world. Nobody else is building like Vote Inu right now during this bear market. When the tide turns, Vote Inu is going to be in the front of the meme coin section. Now, it's not financial advice, but just from my experience and what I'm seeing, Vote Inu is reminding me of the early days of Shiba Inu, before everybody started hopping on the bandwagon, before, it was really community oriented. And that's one of the main things that reminds me when it comes to Vote of SHIB. So shout out to all the influencers, everybody, the content creators, anybody creating anything to get the word out there on Vote. This was dope right here.
Over the head again. Guess what? Ho, ho, ho. Let's get it. Everybody get voted. Can't stop, won't stop. What the fuck is you smoking? Told them all we was coming and they thought we was joking. They thought it was a joke. Back, baby. We don't never slack, never like, boy, we focus. Now we worldwide, north, south, east, west. Everybody now get voted.
Hey, first purchase
Can't
down.
stop, won't stop. What the fuck is you smoking? Try to tell them. Told them all we was coming and they thought we was joking. We don't never slack, never like, boy, we focus. Now we worldwide, north, south, east, west. Everybody now get focused. Can't test us, go hard, hell, now we go extra. Supercharging this bitch like Tesla. Talk fun, get folded like wrestlers. Bad lessons, coach, get lectures. I don't play about a minute, you can get the stretcher. Came from a different club, you can see the texture. Oh, I'm here too, we apply pressure. From the billboards, sign from all new partnerships, we off the chain. Vote to change, power by vote soft, we about to change the game. Ain't no lion, tigers, bears, and my strength. I ain't even told you, somebody just copied our color.
Shout out to them on that video. Shout out to the Voltage Santa giving back to the kids, spreading the voltage, man. That's what it's all about. Also, shout out to Pablo holding it down on the front lines, constantly updating the community. It looks like this one passed already. This was actually yesterday, so I was gonna say check this out later on today, but I'm sure he'll be live anyway. Pablo is always live voting it up. Let's check out Vote Inu's price on Gecko. So we can see Vote Inu at that 9.6 level right now, 6 zeros, 9606. Overall, in the last, like what was that, the last month or so, we seen Vote Inu go up 250%. We seen it pull back. It was holding around up, being up around 150%. Might be a little lower right now, but people are going to take profits, man. That's all a part of the game. You want to buy low, sell high, depending on what your time frame is. That could be, if you bought it low and held it for, a few minutes, like day traders, that could be your goal. If you bought it low and, you held it for a few days, few weeks, few months, that could be a goal to take profit, or, some years plus, then you will be a longer term investor. So just understand that there are market cycles. Yes, Vote Inu is down from its all-time high, but at the same time, everything is down from its all-time high. So keep that in mind. Shout out to all the Voted Army in the comment section, man. I see y'all voting it up. Let me drop some love real quick. Shout out to all y'all. Shout out to Mitchell. Shout out to Two. Shout out to Votisha. Shout out to Burn by Saitama. Shout out to Cecilia, Honey Glaze. Shout out to all y'all, man. Salute. Shout out to Crypto Law in the building. But we about to wrap this one up, man. Dope stream. We got to cover a lot of information. Shout out to the replay gang. If you're watching this later on, make sure, or do y'all want to watch that video on BitBoy's channel? Do y'all want to do that before we get up out of here? Let me know in the comment section. Do y'all want to basically, react to this video? I'm going to give y'all about 30 seconds to let me know. Do y'all want to react to the video on BitBoy Crypto's channel before we get up out of here? Okay, they said, let's do it. I'm down for it. Yeah, haven't seen it. Let's do it. Okay, we're going to pull it up then. Let's see. Shout out to y'all channel members. Also, shout out to those on the super chats as well. Okay, here's that video. Here, let me grab a link real quick so I can share it with y'all.
Welcome to Bitcoin Crypto. My name is Ben, and we have a doozy of a video for you today. We think we have possibly found Sam's personal Bitcoin address. A lot of weird movement around this, and we do ultimately.
I told y'all he wasn't broke. You don't go from billionaire status to just having $0 or 100,000. Like, get out of here.
Believe that this address here, we got a lot of evidence to support this, that this was actually customer funds in Bitcoin being moved over to a personal address for Sam. And also it's important to note that we don't have 100% sure evidence that this is Sam, but we also know that on the bond for his bail, there were 2 mystery people as well who signed that bond, and this could be them also, but I do believe this is Sam's address. So I got this email. I talked to this guy on Twitter. He said, we spoke briefly via Twitter DM about SBF bail funds. Of course, nothing is certain, but the coincidence between these addresses, FTX and Sam's, are too many to overlook. I talked to this guy on the phone as well, and he told me that he's been tracking this address actually since early 2021. An interesting strategy. When Bitcoin would go out of this address, he would buy Solana, because what you would find is when Bitcoin was being moved, it was being moved to move Solana and pump up the price, and there's a lot of evidence to support that as well. So this address started accumulating what is ultimately today $2 billion worth of Bitcoin in early 2019, around the time FTX was founded. It switches wallets around the time of the Luna blow up when Alameda got wounded. Here's the key, guys. It moved $230 billion worth of Bitcoin right before Sam was extradited. In between the 2 extradition hearings.
So I think he means 230 million, not 230 billion. And shout out to who is this? Alex 45621 said, I love your channel, by the way. Appreciate you, Alex. Honey Glaze said, I'm just enjoying hanging out, being surrounded by other investors, learning what I can as I go. Salute. Appreciate y'all pulling up and rocking with me, man.
On Monday and Wednesday, that is when all this money got moved out. Then his bail was set at $250 million a few days later. The main address, which got consistent transfers starting in early 2019, is this 1P5ZE address. Here you guys can see, here it is at the top of the market. This thing was worth $7.3 billion in this one Bitcoin address. It made it one of the top 5 Bitcoin addresses on the rich list. And you can see here that right here in March, money starts moving. Here, this is around the time of the Terra Luna collapse. Boom. This is the time around the Celsius collapse. Boom. And then look right here in July, right as the contagion was really starting to spread, right before FTX really started getting heat, all the money left. And where did it go? It went to Coinbase. You guys can see here, 29,000 Bitcoin, 25,000 Bitcoin, 84,000 Bitcoin, 8,500 Bitcoin moved out of this wallet. Around the time of the Luna blow up, the wallet above was empty. Now, this would have been really between Luna, Celsius, and Voyager as all that was going on. All this money got moved. Same amount of Bitcoin showed up in the wallet below, and basically the same transfer amounts within a day or two. So here you can look here, and you can go back all the way to around the same time. I mean, you guys see a lot of these Bitcoin transfers going in.
And look at the numbers, y'all. 1,000 Bitcoin, 500 Bitcoin, 1,000 Bitcoin, 700 Bitcoin, 2,000 Bitcoin out, 1,000 Bitcoin out, 1,000 Bitcoin out, 1,449 Bitcoin in. Sheesh. These are not small numbers, y'all. So obviously this has to be somebody who's, highly up there, well connected. And, the correlation, like he said, the times money was moved out of this wallet, at the, almost exact times as all the other breakdowns is, pretty fishy.
In and going out. And here, this is the key I want you guys to pay attention to. I want you guys to pay attention to these numbers right here. 1,907 Bitcoin, 2,977 Bitcoin. And there were 4 transactions of that exact size. Now, where did those go? We're going to find out here. There were 4.
That totals to 50. That's over $230 something million right there, y'all. Absolutely crazy. All on the same day.
Transactions of that exact size. Now, where did those go? We're going to find out here in a second. The above wallet acted in the same manner as the 1P5Z wallet, consisted of money in a few hundred, maybe 1,000 Bitcoin at a time. but not always extremely round numbers. Could be 417, 124. But with the withdrawals on both the above addresses were always round numbers, 500, 1,000, 1,500, 3,000, shows a consistent pattern between the two. The next wallet is one which received $230 million the day of the extradition hearing, December 19th, from 1LQO. That's this address here. And then look at this. 1907, 2977, 2977, 2977, 2977.
That's all those $50 or $49 million purchases.
These came from this other wallet. Now we've got a wallet that's got $230 million in Bitcoin just sitting the day of the extradition hearing. Now, are they going to move these? Are they scared to move these? Is it the same address? Definitely something to watch here. Very, very fishy. Everything stated in this email, which is my opinion, is extremely unusual action transfer for this wallet. Left me a little puzzled at the time, but I just chalked it up to something I wouldn't be able to explain. That is until the price of Sam's bail was announced yesterday. Not an exact, but an extremely coincidental amount for funds that someone who started accumulating billions of dollars of Bitcoin the same time Sam started FTX. Is this, in fact, the address where customer funds from FTX were embezzled from FTX into this address? I'll let our chain analysis sleuths check this out. We will post all three of these address links down below in the description. You guys have fun with this. Watch it. Hold this wallet accountable. Let's see what happens with this money. Sam is out on bail. We believe he's going to have access to a lot of this. Watch for any fund transfers from this address. We want to make it to where they can never send this money out again without people knowing exactly what is going on. That's all I got. Be blessed.
Okay, so very interesting. Very, very interesting. It would make sense. A lot of things are lined up, in fact, to, kind of be coincidental. But, too many coincidences, generally points out what's really going on. So it's all allegedly right now. I don't think it's too much facts right there to pin that and say it is absolutely his wallet. But we can definitely speculate that that may be his wallet or one of his wallets. I just know you don't go from billionaire status to having, no funds at all. Salute, shout out to Moonman144K pulling up, said you are a mastermind. Appreciate you pulling up on us. Shout out to Cecilia. Yeah, so I definitely, now that BitBoy put that wallet address out there, anything that happens with it, it will definitely be tracked. They're not going to be able to, do any slick transactions, out of the public eye because everyone is wondering, whose wallet is that? So let's see what else we got here. And something else that was kind of fishy, when we talked about, let me see, does California have that law? Actually, we got to see, where is he? Okay, so New York. Okay, so he does only have to come up with 10% of it in New York. So his parents' California, San Francisco home was worth around, let's just say, $4 million. So that would still leave another $21 million that has to be, accounted for. So yeah, we definitely want to keep an eye on that account. If we see a random $21 million come up out of there, then we know something. But obviously, it should have happened already. If he's already bailed out, they should have already secured those funds. So I'm pretty sure these people are smart. They're going to cover it up. It's not going to be that obvious the way that is going to be revealed. But we know a lot of fishy things are going on. So let's just keep, our eyes peeled, stay on top of the market. Any news that's going on is important news right now. Because, nothing is really, things aren't looking up right now for the space with all the FTX, SBF, dogecoin, Terra situation. Things are hit hard right now. Republican senators propose overhaul of Federal Reserve. Okay, so yeah, we went through mostly all these things today. Another basically sideways day in the market. Is going to be like this for a while until we get some major catalyst. So if you're somebody who's holding on to the edge and you're saying when this price is going to go back up, it's going to happen once we start to receive good news. So either interest or information from the Federal Reserve that they're going to start, putting more money into the economy, slowing down, raising interest rates, things like that will be a positive catalyst for the crypto space as well as stocks. But that's pretty much all we got for this video, man. Shout out to y'all for rocking with me. Appreciate everybody in the stream for pulling up. Make sure y'all hit that like button on the way out, and we are out.